Flawless victory.
Hey guys, I'm back for more tips on Death Stranding. If you haven't seen my previous video, I recommend that you check that out first. Just click the suggested video on the top right now, or find the link down below in the video description. Here's what I'll be covering in this video. I've also posted my thoughts on the game, so make sure to check that video out as well. And as always, please leave your comments down below and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Okay, let's get right to it. Number 1. Terrain assessment. You can use your binoculars to get a pretty detailed overview of the terrain, which can be really useful for getting around rough terrain. Just aim with L1 to a waypoint or objective and you'll get a chart showing the distance and details on the elevation. You can then use this to decide what equipment you'll need to carry on your journey. Don't forget to also check the weather once you get to the weather station and the chiral network coverage by switching map views with R3 to see how far you'll be able to build stuff. Just don't build roads outside the chiral network coverage because the requirements will be much higher and chances are you'll connect that area soon enough after getting through it the first time. Number 2. Farming chiral crystals. If you're going to build roads, you'll need some chiral crystals. A good way to get them is to just go to an area with BTs carrying around 5 cases of hematic grenades and some weapons if you want, and just run straight into a BT, get dragged away and enter a boss fight. Taking down the boss is fairly easy, and once you do, you'll be able to collect around 1000 or so chiral crystals. I've also seen a lot of comments on how you can do this to clear an area of BTs, making it easier to get around, but in my opinion, it's just not worth it. You'll spend more resources fighting the boss than clearing a path with grenades so you can make it across with your vehicle, while if you fight the boss, the area will have BTs once again if you rest or if you go far away and come back. You can technically destroy all BTs in an area and clear it out using grenades, but that's even more inefficient. However, in my experience, if you destroy the BTs in a certain path, they won't repopulate and you'll be able to retread that same path over and over again with no issues. Number 3. Farming other materials. I've talked in my previous video about taking out mule camps and raiding them for materials, but here's the thing. Each camp seems to carry more of a specific type of material. The closest one from Central Knot City, for example, has a lot of metal, while others carry a lot of ceramic or special alloys. I believe this is the same for everyone, but please leave your comment if you find this to be true or not. In my experience, you'll need to target specific camps to get the materials you want. Number 4. Fighting BTs. There are several ways to take out BTs. By far, the most effective one I found is using hematic grenades, which you can carry by the truckload once you get some upgrades for the backpack. However, if you find yourself without grenades, you can also use your bola gun. Doing so will prevent them from moving for a while, allowing you to walk past them or take them out with the cord cutters once you've unlocked them. This can come in handy in a pinch, but it's also really annoying because they scream like crazy while they're tangled up. This won't alert other BTs though, but firing any other gun will make your presence known to them, so don't use any of the BT weapons on them. Save them for the boss fights instead. Number 5. The BT family. While we're on the subject of BTs, they come in all shapes and sizes. Most are regular people-sized, but unfortunately, you'll also find baby ones and giant-sized ones. The baby ones can be very hard to see, which can really throw you off if your auto deck is spinning like crazy and you're struggling to see where a BT is. The giant ones take around 3 grenades to take down and are, of course, much easier to see. Number 6. Combat Stranding. One of the first pieces of equipment you get is a strand or rope that you can use to take out mules by sneaking from behind, but they are also very useful in combat. Just hold them up with L2 and press R2 when the enemy attacks. don't worry too much about the parry window because it's very generous. Once you've parried their attack, you'll be able to quickly take them out with another strand attack. But keep in mind, you can still get attacked while the animation is taking place. Also, a faster way to take them out is by running while holding both triggers and hitting square to push them. This will stagger them even if they're blocking, leaving them open for another attack. Number 7. The unethical tip. Okay, I'm not proud of this, but if you're in the middle of nowhere and you need crafting materials to build a road or a PCC or something, check out the shared lockers found in each base. If there are no materials but there's some equipment, you can take that equipment out and recycle it to get a few materials back. You won't be getting a lot, but it can help out if you're really desperate. Number 8. Time-saving tips. Here are some fast tips that will save some time when you're out in the field. Hold circle to sit down and rest. This won't advance time, but it will automatically quick save when you sit down. You can also hold triangle to quickly put everything you're carrying on the ground. And also, when you get to a private house or delivery terminal, parking your vehicle inside the circle area will allow you to access its cargo from the terminal. There's no need to park it right next to the terminal. And lastly, wearing a cap reduces stamina consumption, allowing you to run for longer periods of time. You can equip them by pressing up on the D-pad and selecting them from the menu. Number 9. Manage your network. Once you can build zip lines, you'll want to build a lot of them. They will make every single delivery between connected areas absolutely trivial. But in order to build a lot of them, you'll need a lot of bandwidth because each one takes up 500 points. You can either get more bandwidth by getting a higher connection level in each delivery point, or you can dismantle old stuff you've built that you're not using anymore. A good place to start is by deleting the safe house that you're forced to build next to the weather station. Houses take up 2,500 points, which is way more than any other structure in the game, and you can delete this directly from the map. There's no need to physically walk to it. You can also delete stuff created by other players, but that won't restore any bandwidth. But it's a good idea to delete stuff that's misplaced or that you'll never use, because that will make other constructions appear. Number 10. Partial deliveries. Some deliveries are absolutely massive and you have no way of taking them in one trip unless you use a truck. But if you don't have access to one or the terrain is too hard to navigate with them, you can make multiple trips and then deliver everything at once. The key here is to place the delivery in your private terminal. Selecting Make Delivery and making a partial delivery will mark the mission as complete and the remaining cargo will disappear. This also means you won't get a very good evaluation for that delivery, so yeah, don't make the same mistakes I made. Okay, that will be all for now. I want to thank you guys for the feedback I've been getting on the previous video. I read all your comments and I really appreciate them. I hope you also find these 10 more tips as useful, and please remember to comment on the materials that are available at the different enemy camps, and maybe we'll find out if it's the same for everyone. Also, let me know down in the comments if there's any other video game that you'd like me to cover. Until then, keep on keeping on.